So all we got left, we're back in Ontario now. We get through the border. All we got left, 4-year-olds and up, aged horses, if you will. Starting with Adrenaline Rush, he's been racing good since he came back. I don't know when. I'm surprised somebody hasn't claimed him already. I mean, he's been racing good in that class. I think we've shown there really isn't any other class for him. So we just continue to race him. If they want to leave him alone there, great. Thought he raced good the other day. Probably could have been a winner, but he's been racing so good, it's pretty hard to complain. So Adrenaline Rush, decent third place finish the other day. Good as him was fifth today, beat a length, I believe, maybe less than a length. Again, raced pretty good. Mark said he's going to tinker with his gear. This is a horse that's going to fit in for us. We have a number of places we can race him. Saratoga, Ontario, anywhere we want to go with this guy. He gets around any size track, and he will inevitably get better. So we'll see where good as him goes from here, but I suspect he'll be just fine where he's at. Aguilera AM every week. It's we're going to try a little something. We're going to see if we can get her to do this and that. Finally got her where she's trotting good. Mile and 54-1 the other day, and I mean the earplugs in on idle. It's so weird how she can go from bad to, like, we went to qualifier the week before, and James said she warmed up terrible. Horrible. I said, okay, all right, fine, I'll go with her when I get home. And we changed a few little things, nothing major. And all of a sudden, boom, she was her old self. It's the weirdest thing. She's an extremely frustrating animal in that regard, but man, when she's dialed in, she is so fast. It's really hard to explain how fast she is. That mile the other day, 54-1, just like snapping sticks. She was perfect. It was no big deal. It was very easy for her. Very weird horse. LD's Patrick made a break in that qualifier. Lost a shoe, made a break. We're going to, draw his blood to make sure he was all right. Then we're going to have the vet look at him, get him reshod, and bring him back. Look, LD's Patrick hasn't made a break since last year for us. Training down never made a break, so I don't really know what went on the other day, but he'll be fine for next Friday. I'm positive of that. Locatelli's been racing good. Finished fourth or fifth?
I think it was
fourth or fifth, but has been racing good. Eventually, we're not going to continue to race White Tiger and Locatelli together all winter. If White Tiger is going to be our open horse, fine. When Locatelli gets up in there, if they're going to force him to be in there, then we're going to do exactly what we did with Cintra, which is move him for a couple of starts. Cintra will be making his way home, I suspect, this week. We'll enter him in the Open at the Meadows, but I highly doubt the Open at the Meadows is going to fill, in which case he can come back to Ontario, I believe, now that Warwie Vital and now that Tattoo Artist will be in the Breeders' Crown. I assume the Breeders' Crown elimination, that means that that will open up the door back to normal open pacers, in which case, by all means, Cintra's welcome back home. Macho Martini's going to race on Wednesday. Now I'm going to let Macho rock a little bit on Wednesday. I know I was teasing Ronnie a little bit. He was very protective of him the other day. I'll be much less protective of him on Wednesday. I'm going to let him do a little work on Wednesday. My Jazz has been in 2-1. She will be qualifying, I believe, next week. If she is, I won't be able to go with her if that's a plan for Jason. I haven't talked to him. I know that she's ready to rock her, both her and Compass Rose DC right now. No free lunch, just an amazing mile from him the other night. First win back for Scott Zeron since he broke his arm. Just it's nice that he did one of our horses. I called him the other day and I said, hey, will you do me a favor? I know you're not sticking around long. I see you're done after the 8th. Will you drive our horse in the 10th? And that's not even the worst of it. He's got the 10 hole. And, but that's the rapport we built with Scott. Scott's like, all right, fine, I'll drive him. And then to see him win 50-2, 26-2 or 3 on the end of it was just an amazing mile for him. So congrats to everybody that is involved with No Free Lunch. Walk on the Moon is going to be Indigo this week. I didn't see, was he Indigo yet? The plan was to race him this week. They had to scratch him the other day at a temperature of 103 one morning, and he was fine the next day, but just too much. As I said, Compass Rose DC is ready to go now. 2-1 again with her. She'll be in to qualify, I suspect, this week. Globetrotting's in to go Monday. I know Megan called and said her AST is slightly elevated. That quarter crack bites her a bit. I said, listen, I wouldn't worry too much about the AST. The quarter crack, yes, make sure it's not bleeding. But the AST, it didn't seem that bad. I think with some fluids running, it should be fine. So you'll likely see her show up. Is it tomorrow or Tuesday? tomorrow afternoon at the Poconos. She's going to be short. She's coming in after blowing a quarter crack. Her AST is a little elevated. Not what I would call ideal by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm sure she'll be fine. Hole in the Tone is back going now. He'll be ready probably 5-6 weeks. As I said, I made a decision when we first got him. He just looked a little run down. You look at his race lines. We got him, I believe we got him at enough of a discount where we had the opportunity, we had the time, and as I said, the discount where we could give him some time, put some weight on him, sharpen him up, freshen him up, make sure that all the little aches and pains he had were gone away, and that's exactly what we did. So he'll be on full training regimen from here on in, and again, hopefully be part of that tip of the spear, so to speak, for the stable.ca all winter long at Mohawk. The plan is to get him back to Mohawk. We'll see how he trains down here in the next few weeks and months. Well, we won't need him more than a month, I don't think. Sailor is racing tomorrow. He's been very, very good his last little while. Hopefully we can keep him consistently racing forward, because he's a nice, when he's on, he's a nice horse. Stay Close is training. He's training now, right? He's back training now. He looks great. He put the weight on we wanted to see. I am very, very eager to see what Stay Close has for the stable this winter. Kings County, again, just a tremendous horse. Stacy called me the other day. She said, listen, here's the scoop. He is a bleeder. He's on Lasix. I don't want to give him 6 weeks in the field. What I would rather do is give him 2-3 weeks here and there, just a really light schedule for the next little while, and then keep him going. I said, you guys have done an amazing job with the horse. If that's what you want to do, by all means, I'll stand behind it 100%. So that's the plan with Kings County for now. He's going to race on a 2-week, 3-week schedule. If he feels up to it, he feels good. If he starts to get sharper, perfect. We're on the right path. If he starts to dull a little bit, then maybe we aren't. So Stacy sees him every day and knows him better than anybody right now. So I suspect we should just let them make the decision moving forward on Kings County. But again, you know, it's pretty hard when the horse is picked to win and winning the opens. It's pretty hard to say, that's enough. This industry, more than ever and more than any other, is absolutely strike when the iron's hot. And I agree 100% with Stacy on this one. White Tiger has been the best he's ever been in his life. Now, I'm driving him tomorrow. This is a new White Tiger. I trained him a couple of times training back, but he's never trotted in 52, 53 and looked as good as he has right now. So hopefully he comes out swinging tomorrow. Yes, had that bout of colic. No invasive surgeries or anything needed, but it will take a couple more weeks to get him back. And he's been so terrible of late. Maybe it's not the end of the world. I know they trained him 1.5 miles as I got there the other day. Said he trained really, really well. So hopefully the yes that we know and love will show up after we get him ready. Patrick the Piranha just continues to be a war horse for us. Another win last week, 50-1, the fastest mile he's ever gone for the stable. 50-1 at Plain Ridge. Here's the situation we've worked ourselves into. We won the open pace at Plain Ridge. We won the open pace at the Meadows 3 weeks in a row. We won the open trot with Kings County. We're making the right decisions, I believe, moving forward, and it shows on the racetrack. Just so proud of the job everybody in the stable, affiliated with the stable, or taking part in the stable has done. Without every single person, trainers, caretakers, and owners, none of this would be possible. It's just been a tremendous year across the board. Per Lucky, a little tricky situation. Tough to get him in every week. He's got a bunch of starts this year. We might give this guy 3-4 weeks off. And I really don't know. I don't really want to send him down to Scioto and have him end up in the open with Kings County. We could send him to Dover with Jimmy King. We haven't had any horses with Jimmy in a while, and Dover's just about to start back up. So we could give him 3 weeks, bring him back. I think Jimmy said for middle of November, maybe the 3rd week in November, Dover starts. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe that's the thing that sticks in my head. If that's the case, we might just give him 3 weeks and end up sending him down there. We'll see. Nothing set in stone with this guy. This is still a nice horse. Remember, with that scattered schedule, the horse still took a lifetime mark of 52-3 for us in Indiana this year. So, need to find a place for this guy. I'd love nothing more than to find a spot where he can race in an open full time. That would be nice. We'll see if we can get that done. And then took a dive off Dipper. First start for us was the other day. Now, he isn't a stable horse, but we are training him. Jason is training him. One of our groups of our clients that own a Father Patrick filly that just arrived here last week, they own Took a Dive off Dipper, and I know that the one partner was looking to move some shares inside the stable, so you may very well see some shares of Took a Dive off Dipper show up. But as I said to him the other day, not really the line you want to be selling him off of. Yes, 4 starts ago he was a winner in 49-3 and would make a great addition to the stable, but at the same token, I'd like to see a better line put on him this week. And then obviously the star of the show, the 9-year-old, the last one we're going to talk about, that's Sintra. Man, what kind of a pickup was he? How lucky and fortunate were we to end up with Sintra this year? Man, we've just, and it wasn't like I did extra homework. I just thought that Sintra would make a good horse for us. You know, he fit the bottom classes. This is how I approached the purchase of Sintra. I thought that Sintra would do well in the non-winners of 3, 5, 7, 10, whatever at Mohawk, which would bank some money. And then after that, if we had to put him in even in a 40 claimer, he would be a killer in those classes. I just thought we had a path where on spec, even on how he looked at that point, he wasn't doing great at that point on spec. He still had class. You know, those classy horses, sometimes when they enter a new operation, you know, the new broom sweeps the best, so to speak, even with horses sometimes. So, ooh, that's bright. So that was my hope with Sintra. Expectations were tempered, but knowing that he was at one point one of the best horses in North America was obviously on my mind. Just classy horse. Let's treat him good and see if we can find some more shine out of Sintra. And man, has he shone. What a nice horse. Gave me the thrill of my lifetime, winning the Gold Cup and Saucer. And then the race the other day, not just me. I guarantee Hunter Myers will remember him for quite some time. I can almost assure you that's his first sub 150 mile, I'm guessing, but I suspect it is. And just such a classy horse. Just such a nice horse. And we are very, very lucky to have him. You know, you guys know he's not going to be this good forever, right? He's going to stall out a little bit. But man, until then, we're in for some kind of ride with this guy. Just been a great, great, great ride for the stable.ca, and a lot of fun. Just goes to show you how much fun you can have if you ever happen to get a chance to have a superstar like him. Imagine what it would have been like to own Sintra when he was 3, when he was 4, 5, 6. Quite the ride. Anyway, that's it. That's what you're getting this week. You got all the 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, aged horses. You got an opening. We're running around. I had all my stables, but I had them in my car on a big piece of paper, and I don't have them with me, and I didn't want to write them all down. So that's where we're at right now. As I said, we continue to run real hot all through 2022. There's no magic here. Good trainers, hard workers, and good horses, and you're going to get results like this. And that's exactly what we tried to show everybody and exactly what we are. So thank you all again. I truly appreciate it. Big week coming at the London sale, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then a short breath as we get everything squared away from Lexington. A short breath, and then bang, Harrisburg's here, and then it's the winter. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know we did. We'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.